This portion of the news is brought to you by Shell Ultra Low Sulfur Diesel.
Welcome back. The Constitutional Commission is making progress in Mangrove Key, Andros as they educate the public on proposed changes to the Constitution. Our Cleopatra Murphy reports tonight that residents attending a forum at the Mangrove Key Administrative Complex sought clarity on some issues but believe change is needed.
It was another strong showing of residents at the Constitutional Commission's forum on the gender equality bills on Mangrove Key Friday night. Resident Christopher Smith says he believes in promoting equality between the sexes, but hopes to see it also take shape in courts in relation to matters of child support.
If we're going to have equal rights now, then what's going to have to happen is that the woman is going to have to go to court also, and she's going to have to bear much of the responsibility. But I think the bills are good, and I'm leaning in that area that are possibly good in support.
Island's nurse Gina Bennett Roll's concern centered around the unfairness in how a Bahamian female married to a foreign male cannot pass citizenship to her child. Bennett Roll says she supports the bills and believes the forum was enlightening for residents.
There's a lot of noise in the marketplace, a lot of misinformation, and so they were able to clarify this information, make it presentable so that everyone could understand it. And so I thought it was excellent. The Constitution having been made back in '73, a lot has changed since then. The way we think, our culture has changed, and so we really needed some changes.
Island Administrator Glenn Lightbourne, too, added that the session benefited the community and he was impressed by the attendance. Commenting on the bills, he noted the first three address equality and citizenship. The last is also important.
The fourth bill is opening the door for a deepening of the meaning of what it means to be a citizen of the Bahamas. Because if you can still be discriminated against even after you have citizenship based on sex, and they explain what sex means, I don't need to go into that, then how deep is that, or how meaningful is that citizenship? But personally, I will support the change in the Constitution that brings equality for citizenship and equality for all persons in this country.
The Commission will embark on the first of 3 forums on Eleuthera Wednesday. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
For the past 2 days, West Street was buzzing with activity as residents attended this weekend's biannual Greek festival. Our Sieska Adderley joined them today for all the food, drinks, and entertainment.
The Greek festival has become a staple on the Bahamian social events calendar, and for the last 2 days, the Greek culture has been on full display on West Street. Organizers say putting on this biennial event requires weeks of intense preparation, but at the end of the day, they believe it's worth it. Member of the organizing committee, Zachary Lyons.
It's a novelty, you know, we don't have it that much, and the Greek culture is so present, I think, in Bahamian society that people really like it. The food's amazing, it's a good time, the band plays for 9 or 10 hours a day, so we have a good time.
In addition to the scrumptious delicacies and the melodious sounds of Greek music, we met some very special guests, Greek soldiers.
Well, Greece used to go out and fight in this costume, fight the Turks and other armies that were going to take over. This is my favorite costume of all because I get to wear the fustanella, this is the skirt, and the vest, and I get to wear the gun and the sword, and it's just very cool.
Chairperson Leah Clonaris believes the 2-day event continues to be a success because of its variety, offering a little something that everyone can enjoy.
The atmosphere that we create here is, it's unique to our culture, and I think it gives everybody a taste of what it's like being Greek.
Proceeds from this weekend's event will go a long way in pushing the church's community efforts.
This year, we might do something with charity. We've actually started doing a lot more charity work these last few years, and then we're going to look into maybe repairing stuff. There are general repairs that need to be done, and so the committee decides after the festival how to allocate the funds.
And while this year's festival may be history, organizers plan to hit the ground running to ensure that the next one taking place in 2017 is even better. Sieska Adderley, ZNS Network News.
Tourism officials boasting of the success from the second edition of the Dan Marino and Friends football weekend held at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium yesterday. Hundreds turned out to see Miami Dolphins legend Dan Marino and his colleagues take on all-star Bahamian football team. Tourism Minister Obi Bulchcombe described it as a major win for the country's #1 industry.
You must remember, 80 million people travel to the state of Florida, and we believe that if we're able to serve as a connecting point, no matter where they come from, if they can come to the Bahamas from Florida, it's going to help grow our business. So this relationship, I believe, is going to be tremendous because the more people come, the more hotels are filled, the more people are going to use taxis and buses, the more restaurants are going to be utilized, and the more stores are going to be purchased from. So this is going to be a great arrangement.
And that does it for this portion of the news. We've got more football to tell you about when Kelsey Johnson returns with sports.